Still in Nigeria, the federal government of Nigeria has kicked off the prosecution of Biafran secessionist leader Nnamdi Kanu on treasonable felony charges. Mr. Kanu, who had been away from the country for more than 2 years after military men invaded his father's compound in Umuahia, Abia State, was recently repatriated, according to the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, as a result of a collaboration between Nigerian authorities and Interpol. Our ICE crew had been on ground covering the proceedings, and now joining us to quickly discuss what has transpired thus far is our ICE political editor, Sumner Sambo. Sumner, we've been following proceedings since morning, and bring us up to speed. Where are we right now in terms of this particular issue?
Thank you so much, Aaron, and we would like to inform our viewers at this moment that this hearing has been adjourned till October 21st. The earlier adjourned date was October 20th, but the judge was informed that there will be a public holiday on that day, and as such, the judge fixed October 21st. And 3 orders were given specifically by Justice Binta Nyako, who is the lead judge here. And those court orders specifically are that the first one is that Nnamdi Kanu's physical appearance in court is necessary before the trial will be allowed to go on. Now, Nnamdi Kanu was not brought in court physically, but from all you've been seeing on TV all through, right from here, a lot of security presence was heightened with a lot of structures put in place by security operatives, which many persons that we have spoken with have said that in one way or the other, they had thought that Nnamdi Kanu was actually in court, and as a result of that, he wasn't brought into the courtroom, but he was within the precincts of the court. But well, we couldn't confirm that directly, but there was very huge security presence here. The second order that the judge gave is that there must be an application for a fiat before herself, Justice Binta Nyako, is allowed to continue to hear this this court story. Because the thing is that the court is in vacation at the moment, and if the court is in vacation, then it means that she won't serve as a vacation judge. So there has to be a fiat at the moment, and I can tell you that eventually she urged the prosecution counsel to actually demand for a court fiat, and if the chief judge of the Federal High Court grants the request of the prosecution, then she can continue to sit. Then the third one is that the DSS must allow Kanu's lawyer to have access to him at specific times that will be agreed by all parties. The lawyer to Nnamdi Kanu had told the court that for the past 10 days, he has not been able to have access to Nnamdi Kanu, and as a result of that, he doesn't know if Kanu is doing well or not. And as a result of that, the judge said yes, his prayers will be answered. And specifically, she ordered that the DSS must, as the detaining agency, give room for Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers to see him, but it must be restricted, and she wouldn't allow him to be taken to the correctional center here in Abuja. She says she actually intends to ensure that Nnamdi Kanu is kept at the detention facility of the DSS. And as a result of that, the entire legal team for both the defense and prosecution counsel should all meet with her after the court to ensure that specific rules are given. And so that's what happened. Right now, we have the lawyer to Nnamdi Kanu briefing, and then we'll just want to go straight to him to hear what he's saying at the moment.
Nnamdi Kanu 2015, who was abducted by the DSS on the 14th of October 2015 in Lagos and brought before Abuja here, brought in Abuja here the 10th. He was taken to Magistrate Court and which granted him bail, and customary brought before this court, Honorable Federal Court, which also granted him bail. And those bail orders granted by the court directing for his own conditional release were all flouted by security agents, by the DSS. So until we effectively and successfully challenge the 11-count charge, 8 out of them we are struck out, remaining 3. So on the basis of those of the weakness of the strength of the litigation, the court granted him bail on 25th of April 2027 and scheduled for the matter for hearing. Adjourned the case to October 17th for hearing, 2017 for hearing. So why are waiting for the time for him to be in court on October 17th for the trial to commence? His premises, ancestral home in Umuahia, Afaruku Umuahia, was invaded by the military soldiers. on the September 14th, during which blood invasion, over 28 persons were killed in his premises, and he manually escaped by sheer providence. Not unhurt, he was inflicted with injuries. So, and we have applications before this court for the court to intervene and also investigate the circumstance that led to his disappearance, an intervening event that occurred that led to his inability to be in court and start a trial. So these applications are pending for the past 2 years before this court. Only for us to have on 29th of June that it was brought to court. So, and we're ready to go on. So, but the fact is that the Nnamdi Kanu we are talking about today is person that was abducted in Kenya on July 19th, on June 19, 2021, then tortured, subjected to all forms of inhuman treatment and degradation, inflicted with grievous bodily harms, which is still in his body today. So after spending 8 days, after subjecting him to all sorts of torture, then he was handed over to the Nigerian security agents 8 days after. So on the 29th, they brought him to court. So what I'm saying is that we are talking about gross violation of Geneva Convention Protocol, which agreement Nigeria entered into in 2001. This is very fundamental because as far as we are concerned today, Nigeria's image in international community has been damaged, has been bastardized by virtue of what has been taking place. We don't go to a foreign land and kidnap somebody. If the person has committed an offense to law, you subject him to what you call extradition proceedings. Then the person will pass through the same procedure instead of smuggling here through what they call extraordinary rendition. But that's a very fundamental issue we're discussing before international court and the international community. Today we have various applications and correspondence with the African court, which is being championed by my colleague Zalo Ejimako, and also our foreign partners in UK and the US.
So as I speak, the specific 3 orders issued by Justice Binta Inyabo.
Okay. No, today the exhaustive order. First of all, that you need an order from the CJ to proceed with trial. Then 2, that the detention authority, in this case the SSS, should give us access to our client. Because I complain about the way and manner we see him. For the past 8 days, we don't see him. And only yesterday, we had over the social media that has been taken away from Abuja. I complained to the court that he has been taken away from here. And we can't confirm his present state of health. So the court has to intervene and give directive to the detention authority that we should have access to him on specified dates within a week, which I may not mention to you. So, but that has been agreed, and we are going to see him anymore from now. So, and we have an application to get him transferred to Correctional Center Kuje prison, which was served on the federal government on 17th of July 2021. Only for on the 14th of July, yes, 2021. Only for us to ambush up this money with the counterfeit to that application. But we wouldn't want to go into the merit because the court is actually not ready to go on with the proceeding today because of the fact vacation commences today. So on the next adjourned date, we are going to have a bite on that. Thank you so much.
What are your fears that Nnamdi Kanu, you've not seen Nnamdi Kanu, you have fears?
They are aware that international community
You say?
and they are aware that Nnamdi Kanu if anything happened to Nnamdi Kanu today, the federal government, DSS, and all the authorities concerned should be held responsible by the international community. Because UK, US are in effective communication with our legal team as to what is happening in this. I can confirm that to you today. As I speak to you now, I don't want to mention the international media organizations who are following up this case, who are in this court today to cover what position of the court today. Thank you so much.
Is it true that some of your lawyers were arrested?
No, lawyer was arrested.
Okay, well,
what happened is that we have
arrested. What's your view on
we have a situation whereby lawyers were chastised today, we are brutalized kind of. We were not allowed inside the court because we are suggesting, insisting we should trim down the number of lawyers. I know this is an international case. This is a case that rose Igbo's interest and interest of right responsible people. So every responsible person wants to know what's happening in this case. So and that has been resolved with the court today.
What of your IPOB members that were arrested this morning? Who came in here?
Many of them were arrested.
We are going to confirm that. We are many of them. I was just informed in court that many people that came here were arrested. So and I'm urging the authority. I am urging the authority via this video to release those who were in court to witness proceedings of today. They were not violent. They were merely here to witness proceedings of the court. And it's your constitutional right to be in court and witness proceedings of the court. If you are limiting, if you have a restriction to the number of people that will come to the court, we have no problem. But you can't not warrant to arresting them. Okay. Innocent and defenseless people.
Order for secret trial.
It was not because the trial hasn't commenced and there's no order for secret trial yet. There's no order for secret trial which we are going to project if there's any order of such action. Thank you so much.
Your name?
My name is Ifeanyi Ejiofor. I'm lead counsel to Nnamdi Kanu'S and IPOB.
Yeah. And so that's a lawyer to Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes, Sumner, we managed to gather a bit from what he said. He mentioned that some of the supporters, he was yet to confirm whether those supporters had been arrested just by appearing at the court to support Nnamdi Kanu. And then he mentioned something about the means of his extradition. He said he was brutalized or he was subjected to torture. And I remember reading somewhere where Wole Soyinka said that if people knew the manner in which Nnamdi Kanu had been extradited or had been abducted, that we would be shocked. Does that bring that to mind? Does that give you any more information on some of those rumors that have been flying around?
Yes, well, why wouldn't want to get into those issues? Because there is no clarity of facts at the moment. One interesting thing here that most of them have been saying is that the detained IPOB leader must be given all the rights that is supposed to be accorded to him, both based on Nigerian and international conventions. And as a result of that, they feel that the DSS has not been fair to him because having deprived both his family members and lawyer of having access to him for the past 10 days, as the lawyer has said in court, that it does not meet both national and international obligations. And as a result of that, they feel it's a violation of his fundamental human rights, which may actually add one or two things to what you have said earlier. But one interesting thing that happened in this court is that unlike what we had expected to be a very tense atmosphere in court, it was a very warm atmosphere in court. The judge was very warm about it, and she was very straight in saying that, look, this trial cannot go on if the detaining authority, which is the DSS, won't be able to provide Nnamdi Kanu in court, because she was hoping that Nnamdi Kanu will be brought in here and then the trial will continue. There's a pending order that she had been given, that if he's not around, the trial will go on. But since Nnamdi Kanu has been brought back to the country, there's no reason why the detaining authority, the DSS, shouldn't produce him in court. And eventually she ruled that for this trial to go on, the the accused person, Nnamdi Kanu, must be brought in court to court in person. And then the second order is that there must be a fiat that is sought by the prosecuting authority for her to act as vacation judge, because she is not formally a vacation judge and the courts are on vacation at the moment. And the third one, which she gave as her order, is that Nnamdi Kanu must be allowed to have access to his lawyers, and that both the prosecuting and defense lawyers must all meet with her after the court session to ensure that specific dates and times are given. And she actually told the lawyer that she will never allow him to have full access to him always, because even if she was detaining the judge, Nnamdi Kanu, in her own house, she wouldn't allow them to have access to him at any time. So it was a jovial atmosphere.
Well, I want to say many thanks to you, Sumner Sambo, for bringing us up to speed, our political editor there in Abuja.